Hello and welcome to yet another fresh edition of Trends with LJE. And I am your regular host, John Kamian. Of course, on Trends with LJE, we bring you the latest and developing stories in and across Nigeria and, of course, Africa. And just to remind you, to do well to be part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Joining me to dissect today's trending stories are my favorite all-female panel. I have Esther, Gracie, and Miriam. Ladies, it's great to have you on this edition of Trends with LJE.
Thank you.
Right, let's quickly run through our headlines for this edition. Church attack, fatalities, and community resilience in Kwara. Mass abductions return, 145 missing in 4 days. NBA fumes, calls for inquest into security failures, demand immediate rescue action. Nigerians lose 2.3 trillion naira to kidnappers in 1 year, and Falana tells kidnapped victims to sue federal government, demand ransom refund. U.S. Congress fixed date for public inquiry into killings of Christians in Nigeria. There is no Christian genocide in Nigeria, AGF Lateef Fagbemi says. And now let's go to our lead story, where a devastating attack by armed bandits struck the Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, Oke-Ishegun, in Urukun, Kwara State, during a service on Tuesday evening, resulting in fatalities and multiple adoptions. The assailants stormed the church, located in Ekiti local government area of the state, which bordered Kogi State, and opened fire on the congregation. Tragically, the pastor and at least one other member were killed in the attack. Eyewitness accounts and video evidence confirmed the horrific scene, showing worshippers scattering and seeking cover behind chairs as the gunmen, some masked, entered the church premises and began abducting those present. Let's watch the chilling live stream of the attack. The brazen strike, which occurred during a pre-night vigil program shortly after 6 p.m., sparked immediate tension and panic within the Eruku community. Although the Commissioner of Police, Adekimi Ojo, confirmed the attack, he initially stated that security operatives had successfully repelled the bandits. However, reports from local residents confirmed that the committee had been under attack lately and that the gunmen managed to kill the pastor and abduct several worshippers before being engaged. In a demonstration of community resilience, local vigilante members immediately confronted the attackers in an effort to prevent further casualties and secure the release of those abducted. Their direct community action highlights the increasing resilience of citizens on local self-help groups for immediate security response in vulnerable areas, particularly in communities near state borders that are susceptible to bandit incursion. Now, the incident underscores the persistent security challenges facing religious institutions and border communities in Nigeria's Middle Belt region. Now, I come to my all-ladies cast panelist, and let me start with you, Esther. I know before we came into the studio, I saw your reaction when you came across this story. How do you react to this development? Surprisingly, it looks as if the bandits didn't know that there was a camera streaming live. So they didn't know all their actions was being streamed to not just Nigeria, not just Kwara, but the world at large.
Yes, and I'm glad that it was streamed because it's so heartbreaking. When I saw that video this morning, I was like, what is going on in Nigeria? Back to back, every week, we keep seeing one thing or the other. This is so heartbreaking, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know whether to start saying government should do something because we're tired of saying government do something, do something. What should we do? That is the question. What should Nigerians do at this point? Because it has gotten to a level where we need intervention, honestly.
Gracie, a Canadian congresswoman, has loaned her voice to this development, and in her words, she says this is how jihadists operate. I mean, as I said, the bandits or kidnappers, whatever name we choose to call them, did not realize that as they were carrying out that operation, the video was streaming live to the world, and already global reaction to this incident.
From looking at this video, I would say is a painful reminder that we are unsafe in Nigeria. We are no longer safe in Nigeria. No community is now safe in Nigeria. Like I said the other day, our Nigerian government, how they have been pampering all those bandits, they have been pampering all those terrorists, they have been pampering all those Fulani herdsmen. This thing that is happening, all this kidnapping, all those attacks, is not something that is happening today. It's not something that is happening yesterday. This is a systemic something that has been happening over 10 years and nothing has been done. And the primary essence of government is security and the welfare of the people. But right now, we are not getting any of those things. They cannot even guarantee us any of those things. Now, this video now, this is when we know that our government is, our president is still alive. We need him to take action because this thing is no longer bearable. This is a church, for crying out loud. How can bandits enter church and kill people and kidnap people? Does that make sense when we have people in power in this country? All those herdsmen, if all those bandits, if you see the arms they use, I don't think any of our military, any of those security agencies, I don't think they have that kind of equipment. If all this thing is beyond the president, if he cannot take action, if he cannot work on himself, then he should resign. Let another person that have the boss to take over. It's better we stay without president and let's face this reality than having a president who cannot protect the citizens, who cannot protect the civilians. This video alone, I cried, I wept because we have parents. We all go to church. So is it that, okay, we are no longer safe in church? Is it that if we are going to church, we should carry guns or we should carry weapons to church? Even let's say, okay, we carry weapons. Can we fight those bandits? This thing is, in fact, is beyond prayers. We should take action. Prayer cannot help us all the time. Let's take action. If the government cannot do what is necessary, if our president Tinubu cannot do what is necessary, let him resign.
Okay. Miriam, I could see you was a heavy sigh, not of relief, but of burden. How do you react to this?
I won't even say we have a president at this point. Because how can a president be in a country, you are alive, you are not incapacitated, and you cannot do anything? Now, well, let me just take this thing away from being the Christian genocide. These are Nigerians, even if they are not Christians. These are Nigerians. Why is the bloodshed in Nigeria increasing every day? Every day by day, bloodshed is increasing. The soil is weeping. Everybody is weeping. How will Nigeria prosper? How will the country go forward? How? Because everybody is crying. You go to every nook and cranny of the country. Nobody is at peace. Everybody is crying. And we have a president that will never come out to say this should be put in place. No, he's always silent, as if he's docile. I don't even know if his mentality, if he's not even okay at this point. You get, because I don't know why we should have a president and things will be going wrong in the country and the president is just carefree. He's there as if it's not of his business. I think at this point we shouldn't even say our government should do. I think we as individuals we should look for a way to fight for ourselves. You get, because these people are not even helping us. Because you see the ammunition these bandits, these kidnappers are holding, they are more way heavier than the one our security officials are holding. So who is now sponsoring them? Who is giving them this equipment? Who is telling them to go and do these things? We as poor Nigerians, how are we going to get these things to secure ourselves? I think it is high time we say we should just forget this government and try to secure ourselves by ourselves, because it is we now we have only ourselves in this country, because these people are not looking out for us. They don't care. Their children are not in the country. Their parents are not in the country. It is we that is here suffering. So it is high time we just discard them, forget them, and face the reality and fight this thing by ourselves.
Well, self-help, a big question for Nigeria, especially under the subject of insecurity. This week has been chilling for Nigerians with all the development that has emanated since Monday. In fact, since over the weekend, starting with the killing of General Mba. But guess what? Nigeria is currently experiencing a disturbing resurgence of mass adoptions, with at least 145 people reported missing across Kebbi, Niger, and Zamfara states in just 4 days, raising serious political and security alarms. Now, the most high-profile attack occurred early Monday morning when armed men stormed Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, abducting 25 female students and killing a staff member. Now, this attack, which was confirmed by the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, saw police tactical units briefly engage the attackers, but the gunmen ultimately escaped with the victims, prompting a large-scale search and rescue operation involving the military and local vigilantes. Now, the Kebbi school incident is part of a wider pattern of violent attacks across the Northwest, which include multiple mass kidnappings that preceded it. Just 2 days prior, separate bandits attacked in Mashegun local government area of Niger State, resulting in the killing of 16 vigilante members and the adoption of 42 residents. Similarly, in Zamfara State, bandits attacked Fingi Baza village on Saturday, killing 3 people and kidnapping 64 others, followed by other assaults in Sowa Tasha village on Sunday, where 14 people and including 11 women were abducted. This rapid succession of incidents underscore the escalating scale of banditry and criminal networks ahead of the 2027 polls. In response, the federal government, through the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, condemned the attacks and vowed to ensure the safe return of students, reiterating President Bola Tinubu's commitment to protecting school children. However, the response has been met with condemnation from the opposition, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, who faulted the government's inability to curb the escalating insecurity. Security experts offered varied opinions on the trend, with one suggesting a possible link to politically motivated violence in the run-up to the 2027 elections, while others emphasize that insecurity is now a deeply rooted, continuous challenge that requires a comprehensive strengthening of local level policing, community partnership, and greater manpower. Now, Miriam, looking at the numbers, in less than 4 days, 145 people adopted, several killed, and even as we speak, God help us, maybe one village somewhere in Nigeria is under attack. Where do we go from here? You have talked about Nigerians finally accepting the reality and taking the matter into their own hands.
I think that is the way forward, because clearly these guys are clueless. And our security officials, yes, they are doing their best. But this matter now is above them. It is not something they can actually have. They need help. We've called Uncle Trump to come and help us. He should come and assist us, because our security officials actually, at this point, they need help. Because I think the people up there are making it so difficult for them to even walk, to even do things, because these people are trying. They are putting their lives on the line. They are actually trying to make sure that things are going well. But they are being frustrated. Their energy, their input, everything is just being frustrated. I think Nigeria, we should just help ourselves and forget these guys because they are clueless at this point. If they don't know what is happening, or if they say they don't know what is happening, that means it means they are clueless on a way to go about it.
Gracie, there are suggestions that there are people within Nigeria's architectural network that are sympathizers with the terrorists, the bandits. In your words, you said pampering, the government pampers. So how do we start? When you already have infiltrators within the system, how do the security agents begin to fight from within to without?
Right now, I don't even know what to say about this security issue, because at a point I was saying we should just take laws into our hands, because this clearly shows that our security problem is in fact, they can't even solve it right now. Our government should stop taking us backward. They should stop taking Nigeria backward. They should focus on preventing this attack. They should focus, not when this thing is happening or after everything, they will now start reacting. We are tired of all those our federal government, all those our politicians. They should stop using security as a campaign slogan. Let them fight. Let them do the necessary things that they need to be done in Nigeria. They should focus, because Nigeria, people have to be safe in their own house. People have to be safe in schools. People have to be safe in church, everywhere. Now we cannot walk freely in Nigeria. I cannot walk freely. You don't know what will happen to you. You don't know what will happen to the next person tomorrow. You don't know what will happen to your own parents at home. So we are scared. So please, Donald Trump, if you can don't mind our pride, because we Nigerians, we have pride. Don't mind the pride we have. Send all the necessary things to come and, in fact, to come and scatter everywhere. Please, but you should be careful. Benue State. Yeah.
All right, Esther, as it is, we need help.
Honestly, we need help.
Do we need foreign help?
Yes, we need foreign help. Honestly, Donald Trump should come, just like she said, because the country now is at state of emergency. We have come to that point where we need immediate assistance from they should stop all this talk of US have selfish interest, this one, that one. It's very clear and obvious. Our own government, they cannot do anything. So we need people that can do something for us. Because if you are saying, okay, if it gets to a point where people now...
So we should just humble ourselves at all levels and admit that we need help.
If it's we, the citizens, that have to start calling Donald Trump, let us start calling him. Because it seems as if our government, they are sugarcoating it, making it look as if it's not that serious and all that. And we can see this thing by our own self with our eyes clearly. We need intervention in Nigeria.
Well, the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has lent a powerful voice to the national security crisis, issuing a country statement titled "Enough of This Carnage," that demands an immediate end to the cycle of violence. The association cited two major recent tragedies as proof of a nation bleeding: the horrific adoption of at least 25 innocent schoolgirls from government's Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, during which a courageous teacher was murdered, and the loss of a senior military officer, Brigadier General M. Uba, killed in an ambush by ISWAP terrorists in Borno State. The NBA declared, and I quote, "This despicable act was not committed in the shadows of obscurity. The Nigerian Bar Association declares without hesitation, enough is enough." End of quote. The body of lawyers stressed that the nation is facing an unprecedented systemic failure, pointing to the grim statistics of 145 people missing in mass adoptions across Kebbi, Niger, and Zamfara in just 4 days. The NBA lamented the terrorism and banditry that have now dangerously eroded public confidence in the state's ability to protect its people, with victims ranging from unprotected school children and rural dwellers to uniformed officers. The association raised pointed questions at the state, asking, why do terrorists and armed criminals still roam the forests and highways unchallenged? How are they able to impose their will on communities, levy taxes, displace families, kidnap, and kill at random? The NBA's position culminates in a demand for an inquest into security failures and urgent demonstration of national will to tackle the crisis. They warn that recent intelligence, including the alert by the Department of State Service, DSS, that ISWAP is planning imminent attacks in Ondo and Kogi State demands decisive preventive countermeasures, not just logistics fixes. The lawyers insist that failure to act in an admission that the government has become resigned to never restoring peace, calling for an immediate and aggressive response to confront and dismantle criminal networks that are clearly emboldened by the institutional dysfunction. Now, as Nigerians lose 2.23 trillion naira to kidnappers, it's sad because Nigeria's security crisis has now been given a staggering monetary value. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, that reported that Nigerians paid 2.3 trillion naira in ransom to kidnappers and bandits between May of 2023 and April of 2024, the NBS's Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey estimated over 2.2 million kidnapping incidents in that period, with an average ransom of 2.7 million naira per victim. These figures highlight the catastrophic financial and human cost of the government's failure to secure its citizens. In response to this devastating failure, senior lawyer Femi Falana, SAN, has issued a powerful legal call to action, citing that constitutional obligation that the primary purpose of government, which Gracie here has continued to emphasize, is the security and welfare of the people. Falana urged all victims who have paid ransom to take the federal government to court. His legal challenge demands that the government refund the money paid, arguing that the state breaches its constitutional duty of protection. Falana's legal intervention is designed to transform the current security failure into an immense financial liability for the state by forcing government to compensate citizens for its negligence, and legal action aims to compel the administration to prioritize security and fulfill its constitutional mandate. This move asserts the right of victims and demands legal accountability for the failure of the state to protect life and property across the nation. All right, let me come to you, Gracie. Do you resonate with the position of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, asking that victims should take the federal government to court after paying ransom, that the government should refund the ransom they have paid to release their loved ones from the kidnappers' den?
Right now, I don't even know what to say again because we are in a mess. A country where we now pay for our own safety. Is that a country? So I don't know if they should let them take them to court, let them do anything they want. I don't even care again because I'm tired. I'm tired of this country we are living. It's so unfair.
Esther, your reaction to this? Femi Falana says if you have paid ransom as a result of kidnapping to release your loved one, should take the government to court.
Well, he's doing a good thing by saying that, but we know the Nigerian government. Nothing is going to happen at the end of the day. So even if you come out and say
so even if you win the court case, the government won't pay.
They won't pay. They won't pay now. Okay, how will they start paying each and every person that has paid ransom to get their loved ones back from the kidnappers? They should just find a way to stop the kidnapping, first of all. Because are we going to continue advocating for ransom payment each time again? Just find a way to just curb this kidnapping issue in the country. Honestly.
Miriam, your thoughts?
Yeah, it is a good idea, you get, but we know we are in Nigeria. We have our government haven't even provided the basic social amenities that we citizens
of refunding
need.
Ransom money.
Talk more of refunding ransom. We've not, with our healthcare center, our healthcare system is bad, education system is bad. They've not tried to fix that. Is it ransom they want to refund? It's not going to work. We know our government very well.
Well, we need to take a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you the story of how the U.S. Congress has fixed a date for public inquiry into killings of Christians in Nigeria and the response of Nigeria's Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Stay with us. And remember, keep sharing the stream.
Welcome to LJE Studio, where creativity meets production excellence. Whether you're shooting a podcast, hosting a live stream, recording interviews, or bringing your next big idea to life, we've built the perfect space for you. Everything you need to create premium content is right here. Come record, come create, come be inspired. Visit www.ljenigeria.org/LJE-studio or call 0705-245-3714 to book your session today.
Thanks for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, this is Trends with LJE. We move to our next story, where the United States Congress has set a date for a public inquiry into the escalating crisis surrounding the alleged killings of Christians in Nigeria. Now, this decisive action is a direct consequence of President Donald Trump's redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC, a label reserved for nations engaging in or tolerating several violations of religious freedom. Now, the inquiry will investigate the scope of the violence, the government's response, and the impact on the Christian community. The congressional investigation elevates the Nigerian security crisis from a diplomatic issue to a legislative priority in Washington. This move signals the U.S. lawmakers as prepared to use the full weight of their authority to scrutinize the federal government's actions or inaction on security. The inquiry will focus on gathering evidence, challenging the Nigerian government's denial of Christian genocide, and determining whether to recommend further sanctions, potentially disrupting terrorism financing and other vital areas of bilateral relations. The public inquiry places immense pressure on the Tinubu administration to move beyond mere denial and present a clear, veritable plan for protecting all citizens. The international scrutiny demands transparency, accountability for the perpetrators of violence, and a comprehensive overhaul of the security apparatus. The outcome of this congressional hearing will critically influence Nigeria's standing in the international community and determine the future trajectory of its relationship with the United States. While Nigeria hopes to defend its image in the international community, it strongly denies that there is Christian genocide, as the Attorney General of the Federation, in the person of Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, has issued a strong official rebuttal to the international claims that Christian genocide is taking place in Nigeria. Now, speaking publicly, the AGF firmly denied any systemic religious persecution. He insists that the ongoing violence, including killings, banditry, and kidnapping, is not targeted at any single religious group, sect, or ethnic nationality within the country. To support his argument, the AGF pointed to the widespread nature of the attacks, citing states like Zamfara and Sokoto, which are predominantly Muslim, that have suffered repeated and severe incidents of killing and banditry. Let's hear from the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi.
Into any psycho-religious conflict or evangelistical judo with any religion. So, if it happens...
Fagbemi says the incidents have been, as a result of violence, have been is economic and criminal, not religiously motivated, thus refuting the foundation of the U.S. CPC designation and the narrative of a faith-based cleansing campaign. The AGF statement is a critical step by the federal government to manage the hostile international narrative and push back against the U.S. Congress scheduled inquiry. The administration aims to reframe the crisis as a failure of general security and governance rather than a failure of religious protection. The challenge remains for the government to not only manage the perception, but to also take decisive action that convincingly stops violence against all communities and satisfies the international demands for security and accountability. Gracie, here is the Attorney General of the Federation clearly debunking claims by United States President Donald Trump that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. This is coming. Let's not forget the video we watched at the start of Trends, where Christians in church during a vigil were attacked. Yes, it could be termed as a result of insecurity, but we can't run away from the fact, the fact of those videos, that video we watched, that it happened in a church. A pastor was shot, and another church member lost his life, while members of that church, CAC in Kwara State, were adopted.
For him to boldly say there is no Christian genocide, it feels so insensitive, because it's even funny. Because people are still burying their loved ones. They are still mourning their loved ones. And he's here saying there's no Christian genocide. So those mass burial that has been happening, is that a joke to him? Those mass burial that has been happening in Jos, let me not even go far. I'm from Benue State. Those mass burial happening in Jos, early this year, April to be precise, we had killings in Otobiakpa to be precise. So all those ones are not killing, are not Christian genocide. So why is this saying there is no Christian genocide? So the problem we are having is that government cannot fix what they don't acknowledge. They are all living in denial. Things that are really happening, they are saying is not true. So how would they fix this country if they are saying all these things is happening is not correct? Is not happening? How would they fix the country? This country is a mess up. I kind of no.
Esther.
I will ask, is there genocide in Nigeria? Yes, there's genocide in Nigeria. There's kidnapping going on in Nigeria. There are killings going on in Nigeria. They should stop all this narrative of it's not Christian. They are trying to pull Nigeria away from country of particular concern. So they are more concerned about removing that narrative. They are not even looking at the main problem.
Which is insecurity.
Which is insecurity, which is killings, which is kidnapping. Okay, look at the video we watched of the gunmen that attacked that church. That is a clear evidence that there's Christian genocide. Of course, I'm aware that they are also killing Muslims, but still, they should focus on the main thing on ground and stop trying to put Nigeria on the kind of plane that we are good, we are okay, to the world, to Donald Trump. That is just what they are trying to do. And they are very insensitive at this point.
Miriam, your reaction.
Whether they say there is no Christian genocide or not, the fact remains that there are killings happening in the country, and these people on a daily basis, and these people are Nigerians. So if you like say that they are not Christians, they are Muslims, the fact remains that people are dying. The country is bleeding. So at this point, it is still Nigeria is still at that CPC level, no matter how they want to paint it. Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria is mourning, and we need help. That help, we need it. If they should continue painting it, we all know that we need help.
Well, let's hear your view. You tell us, what do you think? Do we need help? And what kind of help do we need? Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Trends with LJE. My sincere thanks to my all-female panelists, Gracie, Esther, and Miriam. Thank you so much for your brilliant contributions to the show. And of course, to you, our audience and viewers, don't forget to follow, like, and share at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am John Nkamian. Bye for now.